This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I'm excited to introduce you to my guest today. We've got Stephanie Michael joining us with GEM Realty. Stephanie, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Dory. Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting.
Well, I'm excited for this. I want to learn more about you and GEM Realty. So let's start there. Tell us all about GEM Realty.
Well, I was in the property management industry for, over a decade. And one day my husband was like, "You should just start your own business." And I was like, I don't know. I was kind of nervous because I'm a little risk averse. So we talked about it a little while, and then we decided that there was a need for it, and there was an opportunity for us to create opportunities for other people. So we decided to start GEM Realty. We are a full service real estate brokerage that is focused on property management with an asset management type of feel, because we want to make sure that our clients are fully educated when it comes to property management. So we have a strong emphasis on communications, systems, and technology that helps us to give people a clearer picture. And then, we serve the Fredericksburg and the surrounding areas. We go all the way up to like Arlington and all the way down to Richmond. Pretty much a 45-mile radius of Fredericksburg. And basically our goal is just to create a better experience for everyone involved, whether it's an owner, a resident, a vendor, or our team. We're just really focused on systems and using technology to make property management more transparent and less stressful.
Amazing. So let's dive in a little bit more on your background. How did you get into property management to begin with?
So it was sort of by accident, honestly. So I used to run a plumbing company, and then shifted gears, later on when my kids were kind of getting up to an age where you didn't have to be home with them all the time. And I got a job as a maintenance coordinator because I had that background, right? But it was in property management. And so it all started there. And then I got my real estate license in 2012 and my broker's license in 2016. So it just kind of went from there. And then I got my master property manager designation through the National Association of Residential Property Managers. And I think right now there's only like 8 in the state of Virginia.
Amazing. So do you mostly work with clients who are investors, or is there a lot of, I imagine since this area is kind of transient, like maybe military families who move away and then they need someone to manage their property while they're out of town? Talk to me a little bit about that.
So this is the education piece that we love so much. It's like every client that owns a rental property is an investor. Okay. So shifting that mindset from, I have this property that I have to rent out for whatever reason, because maybe I have to move, or maybe because I just can't sell it and our family is getting bigger, so we're getting a bigger house. Just because you accidentally became a landlord doesn't mean that you are not an investor. And I think that's a big myth. Right? It's like people think, oh, you're just a landlord because you just own a house. No, you're an investor because you have an investment property that you are, managing on a day-to-day basis. And so that's one of the things where we try to shift our clients' mindset. But yes, we have a lot of military clients that don't live here. They live in other parts even of the country and even outside of our country. And they have, investment properties here in this area that they rent out. And, it's a big part of our business for sure. We have a lot of military tenants, a lot of military clients.
Yeah, interesting. And I imagine for a homeowner, it's a big peace of mind having a company like yours even if you're local, helping out versus trying to do it all on your own. I just think of like, you hear nightmare stories of being a landlord, and I imagine
Yeah.
having a company like you help out is super helpful.
So I do believe that. And we feel like as long as you help people to understand the processes, and just make everything clear and transparent, I feel like it's a much more smooth process for them, especially if they've never rented a home before. Like that's a big, scary risk to take.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like as long as you are educating them throughout the process, making sure you're, giving them all the information that they need about how things work and what you're going to do, and when you're going to do it. And I think that that helps to ease some of that stress a little bit and make it a little bit easier for them to navigate through that, because property management itself is a pretty it's a pretty stressful, scary thing, when you have a
Hmm.
house and you're like, oh, somebody else is going to live in it. And then you go
Yeah.
online and you hear all these horror stories, and it's like, no, 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 it's not necessarily always like that. So just making sure that you're giving them the proper education and helping them understand what it's really like. And two is, I think, um, people are fed so much information nowadays that they think they can do it on their own. And I'm like, do you already have a full-time job? Do you have a family? Do you have something that you're supposed to be doing every day? Then you probably don't have time to answer a tenant at 10 o'clock at night when they don't have any water.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to have someone to lean on in those particular instances.
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone is listening right now who is doing it on their own, and they have been, kind of thinking, do I want to hire a property management company? What advice would you give them?
So I think really evaluating your goals is really important. And if nothing else, I would say you should always look at all the options, right? Like if you're going to buy a house, you're not going to buy the first house you go to, right? So you
Hmm.
you go and you shop around, or the first car or whatever. The same is true with service industries. And I feel like a lot of people just go out and hire somebody and expect that to be a good relationship, right?
Hmm.
So you need to take your time, look at what's out there, interview people, and just really make sure that that particular person or company that you're going to use is is going to fit your needs, whatever your needs
Hmm.
are. Um, and if you're self-managing, I love that for you and I hate it for you at the same time. We self-manage, we manage our own rentals as well. And I think that's also what gives us a different perspective than a lot of other property management companies or property managers. Um, because we are actually investors as well. And that helps us to understand the nuances of being a landlord and owning a property and making those decisions. So I think really understanding what your goals are. Like if you only have one property and you have a great tenant and that's easy for you, awesome. I'm happy for you. But if your plan is to build wealth and to grow your investment portfolio, you need a partner who can help you do that.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Do you also, if someone is working with you and maybe they don't live nearby and the tenant leaves, do you also help on the real estate side with helping them find new tenants?
Yes. So we actually are a full service brokerage. So our goal is to be your one-stop solution for anything property management, real estate, anything that you need to help you achieve your real estate goals. And those goals can be anything from I want to buy a new home for my family and then I want to rent my existing home. We can help you analyze a property you want to buy. Um, and we can help you buy it, we can help you sell yours if it's not a good fit for an investment property. So we help you analyze all that information and give you the numbers to help you make an informed decision. But yeah, I think that's an important part of that process.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's such a huge help to someone who is out of town and just needs someone to just take care of it for me so I don't have to keep coming back and forth. And, people may even be out of the country. So that's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly. And having someone that has those connections here locally that can help
Hmm.
you achieve what it is you're looking to achieve is a big advantage for people that don't live here and they don't know who to call. And whether it's something as simple as, hey, I need my roof fixed or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
having those connections really helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. I find this industry so fascinating.
Well, it is. It's really crazy. I always tell people this is my favorite analogy. So,
Mhm.
when you are looking to buy or sell real estate, you may work with your real estate agent for what, 30, 60, 90 days, depending
Mhm.
on how long it takes you to look for a property and buy one or to list and sell your home, right?
Mhm.
So the best analogy is dating versus marriage.
Yeah.
So when it comes to real estate, you're going to be dating that person. You're going to have a relationship with them, but it has a definitive end, right? You buy or
Mhm.
sell a property, it's over. When it comes to property management, we get to spend your money. we get to we get to order repairs for your house. We take money on your behalf and then send money to your account. Like, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in property management, and it's a very different type of agency. So I say
Mhm.
it's kind of like dating versus marriage. So when you are selecting that person for property management, you could potentially be working with them for years and years. Like, I have clients that I've been working with since like 2013.
Wow.
So you need to make sure when you're interviewing them that you're
Mhm.
picking someone that you feel like you could have that type of relationship with and that trust with. And I think it's very, very important, because when you hear a lot of horror stories about property management, it has such a bad name to it, a bad stigma. I feel like
Mhm.
people are like, oh, property management companies, they just take your money. But the fact is that you probably chose a company that wasn't the right fit for what you're doing, because
Mm.
everyone's different, you know?
Mhm.
And I think it's important to make sure that you know what your goals are and you want to pick someone who can help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really great analogy. I love it. And so, kind of piggybacking on that, what is the specialty of GEM Realty? Is it that you work with more single family homes, or talk to me a little bit about that?
So we actually do anything pretty much real estate, and
Okay.
we manage a small apartment complex.
Oh,
That doesn't require on-site management. We have single family properties that range from townhomes, condos, and single family homes all throughout the area. And we also manage commercial. So
wow.
again, our goal is to be your one-stop solution if you're an investor and you need a full service real estate company.
Amazing. Amazing. So, is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you want the listeners to know about GEM Realty?
I feel like our mission is to change the stigma of property management. We want to help educate people. We want to help be a resource and be a guide to navigating what is a pretty tricky business. When it comes to real estate and property management, they are actually two separate fields. But when you take your real estate exam, there's about 8 pages in the book on property management, and it is the most
Wow.
litigious field in real estate. So it's crazy how much legal knowledge that you have to have in order to provide the right guidance for your clients. So I think we just want to elevate that industry and to kind of be an advocate for more education and more guidance for people who are doing property management. So that's why I am the chair of the Fredericksburg Area Association of Realtors PM Council, their PM network. And we basically do meetings every other month to help educate agents in property management and try to make sure that everyone has knowledge and knows what's out there. So
amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's so important. I'm so impressed by you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Well, if the
Thank
listeners,
you so much for having us.
yeah, if the listeners want to learn more, if they want to work with you or connect, where can they find you?
You can find us on our website at gemrealty.co. We are on social media, Gem Realty in Virginia, and we'd be happy to talk to anyone who just needs help or guidance.
Amazing. Stephanie, congratulations on all your success, and thank you for joining me on the podcast and sharing Gem Realty with us.
Thank you so much, Dory. I appreciate you and FXBG Neighbors. You guys have been great.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.